TVS presents NASL Championship Soccer. NASL Championship Soccer is brought to you by the people in your town who also bring you the bright, refreshing taste of Coca-Cola. Coke adds life to just about everything you do. And by the Miller Brewing Company, makers of light beer. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less. And by Toyota. You asked for soccer and you got it. Thanks to Toyota, makers of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, the official car of the NASL.
Coke gets right. It's got the taste and the feeling you like. Coca-Cola, the pizza's hot. Boy, I'm really hungry now. Jumbo size, wow, pepperoni, mushroom, sausage and cheese. Ice cold Coca-Cola, hurry up, please. Coke gets right. Everybody wants a little like Coca-Cola.
Believe it. You're in the cabin?
We got in last night.
You know how the fire started?
No, we were asleep. I smelled smoke and it just burst into flames.
We saved all year for this vacation.
We lost everything. All of our money is in there.
We didn't even unpack.
Protect your vacation. Carry American Express traveler's checks. If they're lost, you can get a full refund, usually on the same day. American Express traveler's checks. Don't leave home without them.
Number 23. Joe Oak. And now the starting lineup for the Seattle Sounders. In goal, one shutout on the year, a goals against average of 0.46. Here's number 26, Mike Ivanau. The defenders, number 4.
From Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota, our TVS cameras are going to bring you a second-round NASL Championship playoff game. Hello, everyone. John Miller here today, where the Minnesota Kicks, the champions of the Western Division, and the club with the 4th best defensive record in the league this year, meeting the Seattle Sounders. Seattle had a tougher time of it. They finished 3rd in the Western Division, and they had to defeat Vancouver in Vancouver Wednesday night. They did it, and now they've got a 50-50 chance of knocking off the Kicks. It's a 2-game series. Game 1 being played here today. It's a must-win for Minnesota. Last year, the home team won 80% of the time in the playoffs. So, the pressure on the Minnesota Kicks here today. We'll be back to meet our special guest analyst for the ball game in Minnesota when we continue right after this.
The leading scorer for the Sounders and the 6th leading scorer in the NASL, number 12, Trumpet Mickey Cade. And number 18 from England, 5 goals and 4 assists of the year for Tommy Ord. The assistant coaches for the Sounders are Bobby Howe and Harry Redknapp. The head coach is Jimmy Gabriel. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Minnesota Kicks. First of all, dressed but not starting this afternoon, number 4, Mike Bailey. Number 15, Dan Cummins. Number 16, Pino Lettieri. Number 19, Marco Vukovic. Number 24, David Dorico.
Our special guest commentator today from Minneapolis is Walt Chisowitz. Walt was with us for one of our earliest telecasts of the year. The tough guy from the north side of Philadelphia, now the United States Olympic soccer coach and the World Cup soccer coach for the U.S. Walt, it's nice to have you back, and let's have a look at some of the big stars we're going to see today.
Thank you, John. It's a pleasure to be here working with you again in this exciting match this afternoon. Let's first have a look at the Seattle Sounders, coached by Jimmy Gabriel. They look to first Mal Machin, a defender, a first-team NASL All-Star player, a strong tackler of the ball, and also gets involved in the attack. He'll do a lot of overlapping, coming from behind, trying to create a strong offense for the Sounders. Another great player, a dynamic midfielder, who does a lot of work, goes up and down the field, does the planning and the scheming, Jimmy Robertson. He'll play at midfield, and he'll do all the organizing of midfielders. Another one, an American, raised in the Washington, Seattle area, a 19-year-old, an NASL All-Star, Jimmy McAllister. He'll defend from the left side, and he'll also get up in the attack and try to get the Seattle Sounders on the scoreboard. And then we have the Minnesota Kicks, who last year were in the finals of the NASL Championship, coached by Freddie Goodwin. And they also have some strong players, and they're led by Alan West, a midfielder, a dynamic player from England who does all the planning and the scheming. He'll organize the midfield, and he'll try to create score chances for the Minnesota Kicks. Another player, a goal-getter, Ron Future, a striker who has the ability to climb in the air and score goals out of his head, and also has great ball skill and scoring goals from different angles in the penalty box. And finally, the third one, an American from SIU University, coached formerly by the Olympic coach Bob Gelker, Mark Moran, a midfielder who will play a defensive role. These are the 6 that we look to this afternoon.
Okay, Walt Chisowitz, our special guest commentator for the ball game today. The playoffs, and we'll be back for the opening kickoff of this big one from Minnesota in just a moment.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise? At this time, we would like to invite you to join in as Jim Bowers sings, accompanied by Bob Dykert and his band, our national anthem.
There you get a look at Metropolitan Stadium just before game time today. Jimmy Gabriel, the head coach of the Seattle Sounders in his first year, and he's brought them here to the second round, the divisional championships. Just before kickoff time, and the stands rapidly filling up. It could be very near a sellout today, as Freddie Goodwin, the only coach to bring his ball club to a divisional championship this year, as a team that did it last year, the only team to repeat. As you see, Gino DiPolito, number 14, in the middle of the field, meeting with the 2 captains. Gino from New York will be the referee for the ball game today, and his 2 linesmen will be Artie Wachter and Richard Hallew. The Seattle Sounders are in white. The Minnesota Kicks are in orange with powder blue trunks. The Seattle Sounders have the kickoff, and we're underway. The first 45-minute stanza, and the fans are alive as we begin. John Miller, Walt Chisowitz with you. Walter, the head coach of the United States Olympic team, right now getting ready for the 1980 Olympics. Walt, quickly, a word about the game. What can we look for?
John, this should be a very interesting game. As Seattle came here to play very cautiously, they're going to play with a lot of slow pace and a lot of ball control, trying not to take too many risks. I think Minnesota's under a bit of pressure. They must win here at home because this is the only chance they get to play at home against Seattle. They must play Wednesday at Seattle, so they must win to stay in the running. So it should be a very exciting afternoon.
If the series should end one game apiece, they will go to a 30-minute sudden death overtime in Seattle Wednesday, and that's how they would break that 1-1 tie. Here comes Seattle on the attack. Look out. Tommy Ord, number 18 in the middle, cleared out. McAllister, number 3, gets it back inside, and they keep the ball in. Steve Buttle, and a foul was called.
I think it was an offsides, John. One of the players, number 12, in fact, Mickey Cave, got in there, and he was offside, so there's a direct kick for Minnesota.
Jeff Barnett over the ball there in the yellow shirt. The goalkeepers will wear distinctive uniforms, different from the rest of the players on the field, and that is so that the referee can see clearly that this is a man who can touch the ball with his hands. The only man on the field, the goalkeeper, who can touch the ball with his hands, and then only while he is within his own penalty box. Minnesota with the ball at midfield. A pass for Alan Willie, number 9, their leading scorer. It's knocked away by Englund, number 5. Watch for Mike Englund back there, number 5 in the middle. An all-league defender for 3 consecutive years in the first team. He was going to retire at the end of this year, but he's been playing so well that he's decided maybe I'll give it another year.
I'll tell you, Mike is getting younger every year, and he did a super job last year for Team America, last summer, and he's back in again. He's going to go another year.
Here's a steal. Stephen Litt, number 5, ahead to Coker. Inside for Willie. He's alone. Drive, save, Ivanhoe. The Kicks get the game's first break, and Alan Willie, their leading scorer, 14 goals, 1 assist, was met by Ivanhoe.
Here we can see on the replay, and this is the danger of young fellows such as Jimmy McAllister, who totally misplayed the ball, allowing Willie to get in there, but a super play by Ivanhoe to stop a goal.
Now Seattle on the attack. Mickey Cave inside for Buttle. He drives in, and this time Jeff Barnett is out to dive across the ball. Well, we've had a bit of end-to-end action here. Mike Ivanhoe, who made that saving play against Willie a moment ago, is the backup goalkeeper. Tony Chersky, the regular keeper, pulled a hamstring muscle Wednesday in Vancouver, out of action. Here's a pass for Willie. He's got it. McAllister on him. A shot! And Ivanhoe, they say, last touched it over the end line. Therefore, corner kick for the offense.
Here's a serve by Ace Nestolinqui, and here we see a shot, but a poor angle, and I think it might have even gone out of bounds if Mike didn't touch the ball, but it's a corner kick for Minnesota.
Alan West, number 10, who had 11 assists this year, to tee it up. The playmaker, the quarterback of this ball club. West will cross it in front. He goes for Willie, a header back for Andy Coker, knocked down. Litt can't keep it in, and finally the Sounders able to get it out to Tommy Ord, number 18. Ord acquired from Vancouver just before the trading deadline. He was not playing in Vancouver, and all he did for Seattle was score 5 goals and 4 assists in their last 4 games.
That's not too bad, John. I'll take that. Scoring 5 goals in 4 games, and this is why probably he's starting today. He's that type of a player. He has the ability to get goals, and Jimmy Gabriel wants him up there to destroy the defense of the Minnesota Kicks.
Well, Ord then played against his former teammates in Vancouver, the people who thought he was expendable. He scored 1 goal and 1 assist, and there wasn't much else he could do in a 2-0 ball game. Here comes Minnesota again. England clears to Gillett, number 17. These are the 2 big guys in the middle. But Addy Coker out-hustles Gillett for the ball. Coker tries to push it around Gillett, but Gillett comes out with it. Gillett, the Iron Man of this ball club. Now Jimmy Robertson, a very quick midfielder, number 19. Ahead to Steve Buttle, but it's cleared away from him by Alan Merrick, number 6, the captain of the Kicks. Minnesota, 2-time defending regular season champion of the Western Division. Last year they were in Soccer Bowl 77. Chip into the penalty area. Willie was there, but it's over his head, and Ivanhoe, number 26, comes out to get it. Big guy, played in only 2 games in the regular season with a .46 goals against average. So not a whole lot of activity for him, but when he got the call, he was ready.
Oh, John.
Ball is in Minnesota zone, taken by number 8, Mark Moran, the American from Southern Illinois, and they lose it. Throw in for the Seattle Sounders. There's Jimmy Robertson, or correct that. That's Tommy Ord, number 18. Ord, who was 14th on all-time league scoring. He had, in 1975, 16 goals, so he's always been a goal scorer.
England, Mike England, number 5.
Now Mike England plays it for McAllister, but a bad pass.
Now in Minnesota.
So a turnover for the Seattle Sounders, and the Minnesota Kicks have it.
I think Minnesota wants to play with a lot of patience here. They've brought Ace back to midfield. They're going to play the ball in midfield with 4 players and keep it that way, and they want to get some ball possession before they counterattack.
Long ball by England, and it's taken down by Paul Price. We saw both of these clubs earlier this year in our TVS coverage of the NASL. We saw Minnesota here against Los Angeles in a game in which they were defeated 3-2, and we saw Seattle defeat the Cosmos 1-0 in Seattle. Long ball for Alan Willie. Gillett over his head to clear it. Throw in for the Minnesota Kicks. The Kicks finished 7th in the league offensively, 4th defensively. Seattle was 8th offensively and 2nd defensively. So they're both well-rounded ball clubs, both sides of the field. Cleared by Jimmy Robertson, number 19. Again, throw in Minnesota. And again, Walt, as you mentioned, we see the cautious play here.
Very cautious, and the irony of the thing is that both teams play very similar in style. They go in the air a lot. They go to their target players, as you can see on this play.
There they went to the target man, Futcher, in front for Willie, but it was cleared away from him by Adrian Webster, number 16, and now the Sounders counterattack. Jockey Scott, their second leading goal getter this year, with 6. Drops it back to Mickey Cave, their leading goal getter. 6th best in the league. Now to Jimmy Robertson, fast, diminutive midfielder, but his pass is intercepted by NASL. 2 years ago, Ace was voted by his peers the most outstanding midfielder in the league. Now the Kicks. Alan Merrick, number 6, chip into the box for Willie or Futcher. Neither one can get it, and Ivanov takes it. Out to McAllister. Boy, what a year for this young guy. He was a star on national television against the Cosmos. Oh, bad pass. Coker knocks it down to Neselenque. Neselenque beautifully away from Buttle. Moving to the box. Now to Coker. The Sounder killer the last 2 years, but he trips and falls in the corner. Coker, number 21, had a hat trick against the Sounders this year in a game. He scored the only goal against them in Seattle in an overtime victory, and he scored 2 goals against them last year here in a playoff game, 6 in his last 3 games against Seattle.
Well, I think the reason for all that kind of scoring is because of his speed. He has getaway speed. He can take people on. He can get by them, and he can go to goal. And we should be able to see a lot of this from him this afternoon.
Addy Coker, number 21. Well, he's one of 3 guys in that front line for Minnesota. Futcher had 11, Willie had 14, and Coker had 7 all told for the year, seeing activity now and again. There's Stephen Litt, the big center back, the counterpart of Mike England. Seattle with the ball in its own zone. Steve Buttle, 4 goals, 5 assists this year, number 15. First year with the Sounders. Now to England. Plays it off. Jimmy McAllister, 20 years old. He's from Seattle and made the all-league team, the 3rd team. The only rookie on any of the 3 teams. Now Gillett ahead for Tommy Ord, number 18. Ord steps around Paul Price. Back to Gillett. Top of the box. Look out. Wide open is Robertson. He was onside. Save. Rebound is chipped over the bar. Goal kick from Minneapolis. This is NASL Championship Soccer.
That was a goal. Unbelievable.
Ball match number 3. Wobbling to the Ace. Excellent play. With Jeff Pensky, report to gate E, please. Jeff Pensky.
There you see Minnesota on the attack, moving into the danger zone. Here's NASL, number 11. He got pressure that time from Mickey Cave, number 12, and lost the ball. But now the Kicks get it back. Bruce Twomley, acquired from the Cosmos earlier this year, number 2. Stephen Litt has a pass deflected by Mickey Cave, and Litt, number 5, goes back and gets it, then loses it out of bounds. Throw in Seattle after a Minnesota turnover. Then you get a look at the final scoring rundown. Stephen David, far and away for Los Angeles, led the league. Derek Smethurst of Tampa next. George Best tying the assist record with 18 assists. And then you see Mickey Cave after Mike Stoyanovich in 6th. Willie is in 7th, and Pele finished in 8th place in league scoring this year. Here's a drive by Tommy Ord, and a shot misses the net wide left over the end line. Last touch by the offense, so the Kicks will get a goal kick. Jeff Barnett will set it up.
John, surprisingly enough, the Seattle Sounders have come out and they're playing to win the game. They're attacking. They had a good chance a few moments ago to score. Jeff Barnett made a super save, and they're really pushing out. They're not playing that cautious as I expected, and they come out here to play and win.
Well, if they were to win here today, they're really in the driver's seat going back to Seattle on Wednesday. The home team, as we mentioned at the outset, last year won 80% of the time in the playoffs. Here's Nesselenque after a steal. The open wing. Twomley back into the boxer for Willie in front, but England was there, number 5. Out it comes to Buttle, number 15. The Sounders were 5 and 8 on the road this year. Long ball for Mickey Cave. Off the baseball infield and out of bounds. And Minnesota will have it on a throw-in.
That last chance that Twomley served the ball, if he would have been able to get it up in the air a bit, then the danger might have been even greater. But he did serve it on the floor, and then the defender, Mike England, was able to step in and take it away.
Well, we've got a game of hardball down there in the penalty box because Minnesota has great strength in the air with the big guys, Futcher and Willie. But Seattle's defenders are strong in the air with the central defenders, Gillett right there, number 17, and England, number 5. So strength against strength. Here's a pass for Futcher, picked up by Gillett, swings around him, takes a shot, but England was able to help out, deflect it out. Nesselenque takes it, back heels the ball for Twomley. Twomley loses it out of bounds, and Gino DiPolito, with help from his linesman, Richard Hallu, says, give the ball to Seattle.
That pass by Ace is a bit of, we call it a suicide pass, where he blindly gives the ball, and there are 2 defenders doing the job on Twomley, so maybe Ace doesn't like Bruce.
Stephen Litt, that time, called for a foul over the back of Mickey Cave. Last night, in shootout, Rochester defeated Toronto 1-0 in a Northern Division championship game, so they moved to Toronto for a game Tuesday night, and there's going to be a lot of bad blood. 3 men ejected from that game last night in Rochester. That's the black and blue division, the Northern Division. St. Louis eliminated Wednesday. They all play rough. They don't give an inch.
John, in that division, you got to bring in at least 3 pair of shin guards, and you got to get them up on your thighs and the back and in the front, because you're going to come out black and blue.
You got to have a team doctor likes to work. Well, they'll be finishing it up Tuesday in Toronto. Tonight, some divisional series getting underway at Los Angeles. Dallas at Los Angeles for the Southern Division. And Dallas winning that division. Los Angeles defeating San Jose Wednesday 2-1 to get into the divisional final. And then a big one at the Meadowlands tonight in New Jersey. They may hit 70,000 tonight with good weather. They had 58 last Wednesday when the Cosmos defeated Tampa. And tonight it's the Cosmos versus divisional winner Fort Lauderdale. Quite a game. Fort Lauderdale, the surprise team of the year. Seattle on the attack. Here's McAllister at the 35-yard line. Now to Adrian Webster, number 16. They're pushing up. Webster into the box for Tommy Ord. Merrick knocks it out. Moran goes after it, and Futcher takes it for the Minnesota Kicks. And again, always looking for the cautious pass, the safe pass first.
They have to do this, John. They don't want to take all kinds of chances and too often. So what they do, they try to put the other team to sleep. Seattle's doing this, and then once in a while with a quick counter up to Ord or Cave and try to get a quick goal. So so far it's been working quite well for them.
Look out, here's Jimmy Robertson one-on-one with Merrick. He's around now. He drives a shot. Save! Rebound comes out, and it will go out of bounds. Jimmy Robertson, you saw that deceptive burst of speed. He got by the 2 defenders, and he tested Jeff Barnett.
He did that very well. He has that acceleration to put into 3rd gear, and let's see it on camera. Here he goes. He explodes it, puts it in the third, takes it well with his left foot, but again, Jeff Barnett did a super job, cut off the angle and blocked it with his feet.
Back to live action. Robertson again with the ball. Here comes a crossing pass, but it's too high, too wide. Comes out of the penalty area. Allen West in prime position to start the counterattack. Wide open in the middle. Here comes Mark Moran. Leads it off to Willie on the right wing, moving into the attacking zone. Now back to Twomley, the fullback. He tries to cross it, but again, he got it low instead of high, and England able to intercept for the Sounders. They started out to Webster. Lateral pass on the right side, Mel Machin. Machin was named to the All-Star team. There are 9 players here on these two clubs who made one of the top 3 teams in the All-Star team.
And this is the reason, John, why they're both in the playoffs, because of these players. They're very capable players. They are first division players from England. The American players are playing and contributing as well in this entire scene here. So they're both fighting it now to get to the semifinals.
When you talk about the first division of England, meaning the major league over there, the top league, one of the best leagues in all the world of soccer.
That's
Look
for sure.
out, give and go. Here's Jockey Scott, number 2. Loose ball with Ord following in, and finally Litt able to clear. The Sounders have had all the best of the attacking chances in this one.
John, it seems to me that Price and Litt are a bit disorganized in the middle, and they're opening some gaps for Cave and Ord to get in there. So they got to correct that soon, or Seattle will be on the board if they continue to be so disorganized in the back.
Well, Tommy Ord is as hot as any man in the league right now. After languishing on the bench most of the year, he finished up in 24th place in league scoring. And including his playoff game Wednesday at Vancouver, he's now scored 6 goals and 5 assists in 5 games. 11, that's 2 goals a game and a little bit more that he's been involved in his last 5 games.
Do you think he's got a little bit of confidence out there today?
Could be. Ball is at midfield. Moran has it. Leaves it for Allen West, and he'll try to get the Minnesota offense, which has been stagnant up to now, going. Alan Merrick, number 6, crossing pass. Look for Willie. Spiked down by Ivana dangerously. Nesalenkwe keeps it in, but they're going to call him for a dangerous kick. Got the foot up in the face of Adrian Webster. Foul called.
Against Minnesota's Nesalenkwe.
On that play, Mike Ivanhoe's clearance was not as clear as it should be. He should have used his fist. He smacked the ball like a volleyball player and created a lot of danger. But since he hasn't played for such a long time, he could be a bit rusty.
Here comes Tommy Ord, number 18. Twomley's on his back, but Ord goes around him nicely into the danger zone. Tries to feed it ahead. He had Mickey Cave there, but Alan Merrick able to break the play up. Here comes the Minnesota counterattack. Ace Nesalenkwe off to the races. He's got Futcher and Willie in front. Nesalenkwe with a turn move. Goes for Futcher, number 18. Futcher in front for Willie. He's alone. Shot! Over the bar. Goal kick Seattle. From Minneapolis, this is NASL Championship Soccer.
How do you spell relief?
When I get acid indigestion, I spell relief R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
For heartburn? R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Rolaids spells relief. In this test with Rolaids active ingredient, laboratory acid changes color to prove Rolaids consumes 47 times its weight in excess stomach acid. How do you spell relief?
For gas, I spell it R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Rolaids spells relief.
You know, Tyler, I demand performance. Out of a horse? No, out of a car. Woo!
You asked for it, the Toyota Celica GT Liftback. Team up with the 95 horses in Toyota's superbly designed 2.2-liter engine. Ride through those rough, tough turns with ease and depend on Toyota's sure-footed disc brakes. If you can find a better-built small car than Toyota, buy it.
You asked for it, you got it, Toyota.
The Seattle Sounders with a corner kick as we resume play. Jimmy Robertson in the left wing corner to take it. Lofts a low ball, headed down by Futcher over the end line, and they give him another corner kick. Here's another look, Walt, at that near goal.
Here it is. This is a super play by Ace. He threads the ball between 2 defenders on the dribble here. Gives it here on, to number, who was it, West here, and he serves it in a near chance here and over the top. This was still probably the best scoring chance.
Now Jeff Barnett back to live action, grabs the corner kick off the foot of Jimmy Robertson. The zone clears out. In a way, a goalkeeper really can start that attack with this good ball distribution from back there.
Well, that's for sure, John. In soccer, we say there are 11 players that play this game, and the keeper must start the attack on many occasions. And as you can see, both of these keepers have been trained to do that, Jeff Barnett as well as Mike Ivanell.
Now that was a quick counterattack. They went to Merrick. He went to Willie. Boom, a shot, although he didn't get full foot on it, but happened within, what, 4 or 5 seconds from leaving its own penalty area.
John, and both of these teams are capable of doing that because they have very alert players. They play very fast. They go over the top of midfield on many occasions, go from the back to the attack, and that's why you have all these chances.
Nice move by Webster. Dumps it into the left wing corner for Robertson. He's alone. Litt comes in to pick him up. Robertson goes to work on him. Crossing pass. Here's Tommy Ord in front, but Merrick saw it coming. Now chasing after the ball is Mel Machen. He's wide open in the corner, but West there to try to knock the ball away. He does over the sideline. Throw in for the Seattle Sounders. But West did not give them the corner kick. Now Mickey Cave, number 12, to take the throw in. Let's see if he'll loft it long into the penalty area. Mike England, the big center back, has moved up from his defensive spot. He takes the ball, skims it off his head, but nobody there in front. It's cleared out and comes to Addy Coker. Coker starts to Nesselenque. Play is opening up here. Nesselenque feeds it into Addy Coker in the middle. He's the sounder killer. Coker drives a shot, and Ivanov dives on it and won't give up the rebound to Futcher, who fouled it in.
This is the problem here. You see Mike England going up on the throw-in and trying to get a goal for Seattle, and then being caught up in the attack and a quick counter-attack, and then Ace and Coker going to goal on the counter.
There you get a look at the early stats here in the ball game. Fairly even as the game has been. We have played 21 minutes and 40 seconds of the first 45-minute stanza. Futcher falls down with Gillett on him, but the ball comes now to Alan West, but they call a foul on Futcher. Well, sort of a silly foul by Futcher because his team had the ball.
Totally unnecessary. He obstructed on the play. Should have let him go. Here it is on the replay. You can see him. He's sort of slipped and fell, and now he's trying to win the ball. Now he's obstructing, obviously, and not allowing the Seattle player to continue on the dribble.
Meanwhile, Seattle has lost the ball over the end line, so Minnesota has a goal kick. Fans, the outstanding player of this game will be selected shortly before the end of the telecast, with the winner to receive an award of $1,500. All right, the fans coming alive, saying go, kicks go. No score in the match. Minnesota, in 27 games here in its history, has lost only 4 times at the Met Stadium. They've outscored the opposition by 3-1 in that amount of time. They're a fabulous club here at home. Last year they defeated Seattle here in the playoffs 3-0. This year in a regular season game here they won 4-0. And Seattle, one of the great defensive teams the league has ever seen. They don't give up that number of goals very often. Here's Futcher inside. Look out, Jockey Scott clears. Comes to Nesselenque. He's around a man. Around another man. A shot, but it's over the bar. Goal kick for the Seattle Sounders from Minneapolis. This is NASL Championship Soccer.
Now, let me tell you something. I've eaten the dust of many a rodeo, and I built up some kind of a thirst. That's why I drank light beer from Miller. It has a third less calories than the regular beer, and it tastes real good. Light says giddy up to all that flavor, and woe to being filled up. And that ain't no book.
What? Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Come on, Adam, come on. We're getting our picture taken.
Special moments. Times of your life you'll want to remember. In pictures.
Smile, Howard. Smile.
To help make those pictures look as good as they can, make sure Kodak paper is behind them. If you don't see these words, it isn't Kodak paper. Just look for this sign when you get your pictures. Kodak paper, for a good look at the times of your life.
See, wasn't that fun?
John Miller, Walt Chisowitz with you from Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota. As you get a look at some of the regular season and playoff records between these two clubs, Seattle has a throw-in. Mickey Cave gets it into the penalty area for Gillett, but it's over his head. Now Buttle keeps the ball in. Drops it off on the sideline for Cave. His crossing ball is knocked down, and the Minnesota Kicks get it. Minnesota really opening up offensively after a very cautious, probing start. This is Twomley. Leads the ball for Addy Coker, but Addy was offside.
That was a good call by the referee. He was very alert on that. Close decision, but he definitely was offsides. And this is correct. Minnesota is starting to come out a little bit, going into the attack and trying to get on the board before halftime.
Well, the pressure's on them. This is a game they must win, going to Seattle. And again, what if the teams end up one apiece? Well, they'll go to a 30-minute sudden death overtime in Seattle. And that is the format that holds true for all of these games. It's almost like a 30-minute mini game, the third game of the series.
That really makes it exciting for the fans as well as the players, and this is a new dimension to the league as well. Having these playoff games and the inter-city competition, everything is really going in the right direction for the NASL.
I tell you, this place is almost filled up. Somewhere 40 to 45,000 for this game today in Minnesota. They're averaging 33 a game. Now, after the ball in the corner is Buttle, but he loses it to Jeff Barnett. Barnett quickly gets the ball out to number 2, Bruce Twomley. Twomley from Victoria, British Columbia, played with the Vancouver Whitecaps. Traded to the Cosmos, and he broke his leg last year for the Cosmos. A terrible accident against Los Angeles. But his back now is traded to Minnesota this year, and, well, he's played well enough to get a start here in the biggest game of the season.
John, a lot of credit to him, because the break, I saw it myself. I never seen a break like that, but this guy has come back, recovered fully, and he's playing and starting for one of the top teams in the NASL. So he's got a lot of courage, and a lot of credit to him.
Mike Ivanau, the goalkeeper for the Sounders, 2 years with 2 years and a half, I guess, with the San Jose Earthquakes from the University of San Francisco. Was a shortstop there as well, and the Chicago Cubs tried to sign him, but he elected to stay with soccer.
Mike is going the entire route. He played for our Olympic team that went to Munich in '72. He played with our national team. He's been a World Cup member, so he's been around a long time.
Here comes Twomley. A low ball inside the box for Futcher. Outside it goes to Moran. Ship for Willie, but it's over his head. And England there to make sure as Ivanau grabs it off. Tonight, again, 7 o'clock in the New York area. The Cosmos against Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale, the division winner, the team with the best record in the league. Some of the best young talent in the league. That's at 7 o'clock tonight, and a great crowd is expected there at the Meadowlands to see Pelé, Beckenbauer, and the Cosmos meet the young upstarts from Fort Lauderdale. And also tonight, in Los Angeles, the Dallas Tornado, Kyle Rote Jr., Glenn Meyernick, Tony Bellinger, Steve Petcher, some of the best American players right now all seem to congregate in Dallas, as Al Miller has done a marvelous job down there. It will be Los Angeles with high-flying George Best against those Dallas Tornado ball players, and that's in Los Angeles tonight, all first games of this second round. So if you're in those areas, make your plans to be out. See the high intensity of playoff soccer. Minnesota now with 17 minutes left in the first half, trying to dent the net here. They've had a couple of close calls. Back heel by Nesselenque. Mark Moran, double team, sidesteps McAllister to Nesselenque. He's got Futcher and Willie in front. Here's Alan Willie, but he's screened off the play by Mel Machin, and Ivanau was able to grab it. Now Jockey Scott starts it out. Scott with 6 goals, 3 assists. Head for Robertson, knocked away by Merrick, and knocked out of bounds by Addie Coker, number 21. Seattle throw-in. Adrian Webster over the ball. Or correct that, that's Steve Buttle, number 15. Now he'll hand it off to Mel Machin. Machin on the first team, all-star team, along with Mike England. Jimmy McAllister was on the third team, and Tony Chersky, their goalkeeper, not here today, was on the third team. So 4 men on the All-Star clubs. 5 members of the Minnesota Kicks on the All-Star club.
John, as I'm watching this game, tactically, we see that maybe both coaches must have talked to each other, because they're attacking identically. They're trying to capitalize on their restarts, as we can see now Cave doing the big throw-in to Mike England, who will try to flick it back, but of course now the throw was poorly taken. But tactically, they're trying to take advantage of restarts, and they're both playing with caution. They're playing with 4 midfielders, 4 in the back, 2 in the attack, and both looking to counter-attack.
And when you say a restart, do you mean a dead ball situation?
A throw-in or a corner kick or a free kick or a penalty kick, any one of those that may possibly create a scoring chance, because from restarts you have a better chance of scoring, since everything then can be a bit programmed. It's not a rolling ball, it's a dead ball, and you can almost pre-plan the situation.
All right, the Minnesota kicks for the ball, but they lose it. Gillett intercepts, gets the ball to Buttle, number 15. 15:05 left in the first half. Now, here's Robertson. This guy can fly. Look out. He's into the corner. He's around 2 men. Crossing ball for Tommy Orr, but it's over his head. Too bad. Beautiful individual effort by Jimmy Robertson. Now the Kicks will try to catch him up and start the counterattack. Allen West to the midfield line. Quick pass for Coker. He's one-on-one. He drives and a shot right on to Ivanhoe. That's what we mean by the counterattack.
This is an excellent pass. Let's watch it on the camera. He's a beautiful pass here, and Mel Machin came in there and sort of distracted his shooting ability at this time, because this was a golden opportunity for Minnesota to get on the board.
Well, the quickness in which they got it down there, that's what made it all happen. Hey, Minnesota, a well-drilled ball club, and they play pretty well together.
Well, Freddie Goodwin, he's a seasoned coach. He's been around. He's coached in England. He started to coach here way back in '67 with the old New York Generals, and now he's back with Minnesota. A fine coach and does an excellent job.
Long ball for Cave that time, and Stephen Litt, number 5, clears it on a header. Throw in for the Seattle Sounders, right wing. In the danger zone, the attacking zone. Jimmy Robertson, number 19, over the ball. He's taking a long time here. Now goes for Machin. Coker on his back. Machin looking for room, and he bounces it off Coker over the end line. So the defense last touches it. Corner kick for the Sounders for the offense. Robertson to set it up in the right wing, goes short to Buttle. Buttle sidesteps Moran. He's into the penalty area. Got 2 men on him, so gets it back outside to Robertson. Got a lot of men in front. Here's a high ball. Here goes Gillett, but a whistle blows in front, and a foul is called on the Seattle Sounders. From Minneapolis, this is NASL Championship Soccer.
When you have a headache, what does extra strength mean to you?
It means your headache's going to stop hurting. It means Excedrin.
It means your headache's going to go away fast. It means Excedrin.
It means relief that lets you feel like smiling again. And that definitely means Excedrin.
Excedrin. With more pain reliever, more total strength than regular strength aspirin and non-aspirin tablets. For millions of people, extra strength means Excedrin.
It means Excedrin.
Look at life to everything. I said, look at life to everything. Look at life, the taste and the feel in your life.
John Miller, Walt Chisowitz with you in Bloomington, actually, tonight between the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. Last night, the Vikings played an exhibition game here. In a couple of days, the Minnesota Twins, fighting for first place in baseball, will be playing here. All of a sudden, the heartland of America here, I guess the northern part of the heartland, has become a haven for first place teams in a lot of sports.
It's called Sportstown, USA. They're outside tailgating. They're inside watching the game. A lot of fun here in this city, and they're enjoying it because they have 3 winners.
11.5 minutes to go in the first half. No score. Here's a chip for Alan Willie. Chest trap, heads it down, looks for an opening. Fires a shot, and he just misses by inches the left goal post. Oh, Alan Willie, 14 goals, and that's why he scored that many.
Here we see it on the action. He does this very well. He takes on the chest. Jimmy McAllister actually drapes himself around him, tries to prevent this shot. Well taken by the far post, and Mike Ivanhoe had no chance of getting that one.
Just good luck for the Sounders that time that it didn't go in. So Alan Willie has given notice a couple of times now that he's going to make his presence felt.
I think he has a bit of an advantage over Jimmy McAllister. He's a bit stronger and taller, and I think if Minnesota's alert to it, they got to go more to Allen and exploit the size of Jimmy McAllister. He's a small fella, but very quick in recovery, but in the air he's not as strong as maybe Willie would be.
10:35 to go in the first half. Things going well for the Sounders. As long as it's 0-0, I think they have to feel it's going well for them. Keeping the pressure on the Minnesota Kicks as long as it's a 0-0 ball game. Of course, Seattle would really be in the driver's seat if they got a goal.
Yeah, I would think so. I think if they get a goal, then Jimmy Gabriel's going to say, well, let's pack it in. Let's preserve the score 1-0. Let's go home Wednesday and keep it there and see what happens.
Well, Eddie Fermani the other night after 0-0 halftime against Tampa in New York told his charges whoever gets the first goal is going to win this game, and that's the way it turned out.
Come on now.
Here's Alan Merrick. Inside for Willie, but England there to head the ball away. Webster starts it to Buttle. Buttle is away from West. He's down the middle. He's got Ord on the right side. He's got Cave on the left side. Buttle still moving. Still moving. Now gets the ball to Cave, number 12. He's got Ord inside. Here's the ball for Tommy Ord, but he was offside. He was in beyond the defenders and offside.
Okay, and this was well done, but you can see Buttle on that last play did a super job of penetrating, taking on central defenders, going by them, serving the ball to Mickey Cave, and Cave serving to Ord, but Ord was too anxious, got caught offsides.
A lot of great names in that all-star list. A lot of goals there. David Pelé, Smethurst, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better front line. Bauer on the back line with England and Machen. It's quite a ball club, the NASL first-team all-star club, voted by the players.
Not too bad, John.
For the sporting news.
Those guys could play for our national team. We'll take Beckenbauer and Pelé and Giorgio, let them play with us for a while.
All right, here come the Minnesota Kicks. Mark Moran to Nesselenque. In the middle, it goes to Paul Price. Price moving up on the overlap into the danger zone in across that 35-yard line. Now here's Coker. He's around Mike England, centers it in front of the net for Fletcher, and Machen saw it coming. It's sent back in again by Price, but this time it flies over the end line. And from Minneapolis, this is NASL Championship Soccer.
Shep Messing for Smokeless Tobacco.
I love soccer, and I love tobacco, but I don't light up. I get my tobacco pleasure the smokeless way, and so can you. With mild Happy Days mint, Skoal with the fresh wintergreen flavor, and Copenhagen for straight tobacco taste. Just a little pinch between your cheek and gum is all it takes. But the best part of going smokeless? It's really relaxing. Try some.
I think women are becoming a little more frightening to men these days. Maybe because we're freer to do much more. But some men aren't intimidated at all. They enjoy our freedom. Those are the men I like. And you know, those are the men who wear English leather cologne. English leather fits the way they live. It's so clean and natural, and I love it. So all my men wear English leather, or they wear nothing at all.
Look for English leather in a wide selection of gift sets.
Here come the Minnesota Kicks on the attack. Ace Nesselenque, one-on-one with the young Jimmy McAllister. He's jukes, he goes around and fires a shot. Knocked down, very nearly a handball. Now Nesselenque gets it off to Twomley. This time he gets it up in the air for Willie. Back to Coker, but just cleared away from him. Coker after the ball, but he knocks Jimmy Robertson over going after it, and a foul is called. Well, the Kicks have taken the charge here. It's been their game offensively the last 20 minutes or so, and that's borne out in the shot statistics right there.
They're doing it very well. They're now meticulously building up their attack. They're looking to go wide and go around the corner of the strong defense up the middle of England and Gillett. So they're doing it very wisely. They're trying to use the speed of Ace and as well as Adi Coker. But what's exciting about this is that both Freddie Goodwin and Jimmy Gabriel are very composed coaches, but today they're not. They're up off that bench. They're shouting instructions because they're really excited. They want to win this game, both of them, very badly.
6 minutes and 20 seconds left, first half, no score. Tension builds, of course, particularly for Minnesota. Game 2, 7:30, Seattle Kingdom, Wednesday. We'll have a look at all the previous scores of the playoffs, which began last Wednesday, and a look at the schedule coming up this week in our halftime program. Look out, Ord tries to get it to Cave inside, but it was knocked away. Comes outside to Merrick, number 6, the captain. Chip for Andy Coker. And the linesman across the way said that they lost it out of bounds before they made the pass, and so bring it back into Minnesota zone and a Seattle throw-in. As you look at number 49, Artie Wachter, the linesman across the way, with his red flag. Artie from Denver, working this ball game tonight. Now Jimmy Robertson, number 19, to throw it in. Tell you one thing, if Seattle scores the goal first, this game's really going to open up from the Minnesota standpoint.
they'll have to open it up because there's no way they want to get into Seattle lose with a loss behind them. So they have to come in and make sure that they win this game or at least equalize and tie.
Foul on Minnesota, so a free kick. It's deflected, and Barnett comes 8 yards out of the goal mouth to grab it. Quickly starts the attack to West. Ahead it goes to Eddie Coker. Coker picked up one-on-one by McAllister. Coker jukes on him. Now he's getting a few other defenders down there, and McAllister rides him off the ball, but is called for a foul. I don't know if Addy did a great job of acting that time, if he really did get hit hard.
I think he did a little bit of an acting scene because I thought Jimmy recovered very well and actually took the ball away from Eddie Coker. But what can you do? If you're a good actor, you get a call once in a while.
Into the penalty area, cleared out by Jimmy McAllister, away from Alan Willie, and a throw-in for the Minnesota Kicks. Gave that one away. Alan West, number 10, to throw it in. Goes outside this time to Twombly. He'll start it into the attacking zone. Through pass for Futcher right in front, and he and Ivanhoe collide. And Ivanhoe prevails.
I think the idea here is that they want to test Mike. They want to go up in the air and challenge Mike around the penalty box area, see how he handles the box, and that's what's happening. And Mike is hanging in there, but we'll see whether he can do that for 90 minutes.
Here's a steal by Minnesota. Willie goes by Machen. Alan Willie tries a quick ball, but it's deflected unwittingly by Webster. Comes to West. He has it deflected. Now it comes to Moran. Minnesota controls as they have been for the last 20 minutes or so. Nesselenque in the right wing. He's got all 3 of his strikers in the penalty box. Goes by Tommy Ord. Into the box it goes, but intercepted easily by Webster. Then Futcher trips him trying to get the ball. Futcher argues the call. And from Minneapolis, this is NASL Championship Soccer.
Sure, Schick loves my face, and your face too. Terrific shaves are their business, right? But right now, Schick is making it their business to love these faces, my kids. Send Schick proof of purchase of any Schick blades. They'll donate 50 cents to our muscular dystrophy campaign. Give you a 50-cent refund and a great shave. So when you go to your store and buy Schick blades, here's what happens. You get a terrific shave, and my kids get the money. Thank you, Schick. Thank you.
10 years ago, no one knew me. I was part of the famous no-name defense. Then we built our reputation by being fast. Now, I don't want to lose that. I drink light beer from Miller because it doesn't fill me up, has a third less calories than a regular beer, and it tastes great. Now, everyone knows me.
Hey, I know you. You're,
Nick Bonacani.
No, that's not it. Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
The Minnesota Kicks on the attack. A throw-in. West into the penalty box for Futcher. Futcher controls, crosses it. Here comes Nesselenque. Knocks it down, and Willie can't save it in bounds, but it was last touched by the Seattle Sounders, and a corner kick for Minnesota with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in what is now a scoreless first half.
And this is what we talked about earlier, John, from the restarts on that last throw-in. The situation was set up where Futcher flicked it back to Nesselenque, who was trying to score, and then they're trying to do that on several occasions.
West with the corner kick. Line drive. Look out! Loose ball inside. Ivanhoe tried to spike it, and again didn't get anything on it, but the defense is able to clear it. Then Nesselenque loses it. Alan West comes up with it. Back to Nesselenque. Inside for Coker. Now Willie almost spun free, but Gillett was able to make the saving steal for Seattle. Now hustling through is Coker. He collides with Buttle. They're going to call Coker for a grabbing foul.
And that's a very good call because Coker did make a very good sliding tackle to win the ball, but then as McAllister was getting up, Coker put his foot up and tripped him. So the referee was on top of the play and made an excellent call.
Here come the Sounders with 1:08 left in the first half. Again at halftime, we'll take a look at all the goings-on in the playoffs and the future, the schedule coming up. And we'll also have a special feature with Walt Chisowitz, turned from not only coach to television commentator, but movie maker. So get a look at Walt Chisowitz's movie star at halftime.
Man of all tricks, John. Can't do anything right, but I do a lot of things.
Here comes Merrick in front for Coker. Header hits the post. Rebound is cleared by England. Holy cow. The header by Coker, 3 inches too high.
All right, let's watch this on the replay. This is a beautiful serve. going deep into the far post. Coker climbs over everybody, strikes the crossbar, and out of play. So again, Minnesota unlucky, and would have been very nice to go in with 1-0 score at halftime.
Merrick in front. Coker, scramble, loose ball, and Machen able to clear it away from Futcher and Willie. Now Litt back inside, headed by England, and he gets it off to McAllister, free in the wing, with 5 seconds left. The kicks at their greatest flurry of activity of the game in front of that net, and that should do it. The whistle blows, and that's the end of the first half of play. With the score, Seattle nothing, Minnesota nothing. We'll return in a moment with our halftime show.
The Battery Graveyard. 119,000 batteries end up here every day. Here's the one that started a revolution in car batteries, the JCPenney battery. It has more starting power than any other battery you can buy. You never add water, and it's fully warranted for as long as you own your car. If it fails, return it. We'll replace it free. Only at JCPenney Auto Centers or catalog desks. It's the last battery your car will ever need.
I asked for it, I got it, Toyota. I needed a car to get me from California to Boston where I go to school. So I had to have a car with fantastic gas mileage. Naturally, I got a Toyota Corolla 2-door custom sedan. And I had to have a dependable car. Naturally, I got a Toyota. If you're going cross-country or cross-town, it's only natural to look at a Toyota. Hey, if you can find a better-built small car than a Toyota, buy it.
You asked for it, you got it, Toyota.
How do you spell relief?
When I get acid indigestion, I spell relief R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
For heartburn? R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Rolaids spells relief. In this test with Rolaids active ingredient, laboratory acid changes color to prove Rolaids consumes 47 times its weight in excess stomach acid. How do you spell relief?
For gas, I spell it R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Rolaids spells relief.
Stay tuned for more NASL Championship Soccer after a word from your local station. This is the TBS Television Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Rose Oil Company and the Minnesota Kicks. Throughout the season, random have participated in a goal-kicking contest here at the Kicks game. Successful kickers were invited back to a preliminary competition that was held here at the Met this past Wednesday night. And today, we have with us the 2 finalists from the preliminary competition who are competing for the chance to win the beautiful new 1977 Chevrolet Chevette that you see parked behind the north goal. Each of our 2 finalists must use a soccer-style kick and take no more than 3 steps prior to the kick. Now, to win the car, the competition winner must successfully...
Last Wednesday night, the 1977 North American Soccer League playoffs began. 4 teams were eliminated in the sudden death games. Let's take a look right now at the games and how they did happen Wednesday. The Seattle Sounders, an upset at Vancouver with more than 21,000 fans. Tommy Orr, a goal and an assist for Seattle. Los Angeles had to go overtime in L.A. to beat San Jose. Annie Mihailovic got the game winner there. All-time leading scorer Ilya Mitic had scored for San Jose. Also Wednesday night, the Rochester Lancers got into the second round in a shootout at St. Louis, 1-0. And the Cosmos with 2 goals by Pele and a goal by Quinalha defeated Tampa Bay 3-0. 58,000 at the Meadowlands for that ball game. This weekend, second round action last night. Rochester won at home as they had to do in the first of a 2-game series with Toronto, also in a shootout. And tonight, well, we've got that ball game right there, Seattle, Minnesota, going on right here. Fort Lauderdale is at the Cosmos, Dallas at Los Angeles, and they're looking for perhaps an all-time record crowd at New York tonight. Second round games now, the final games of these Divisional Championship Series. Tuesday, it will be at Toronto with Rochester, and Wednesday, 3 games. Minnesota now has to travel to Seattle. Wednesday, it's Los Angeles at Dallas, and the Cosmos are at Fort Lauderdale. And those will be the telling games. TVS will be right here with the conference championships next Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central, and then 2 weeks from today, Soccer Bowl 77, 4 p.m. Eastern and 3 o'clock Central Time. 1977. It's been a great year for the NASL from start to finish, and now being capped off with the great crowds we've seen in the playoffs thus far. And a man who's got to be very happy about that is Phil Woosnam. And, of course, the attendance is the obvious thing, Phil. But overall, the news in the NASL, the good news in the NASL.
Well, John, it's been a great season, intense competition for the playoff spots, of course. Only 4 of our 234 games didn't have any bearing on the playoffs. And from the attendance point of view, it's up by 30% on a league-wide basis. And the highlight, of course, was the new record set in New York, 62,394. Hopefully we'll beat that tonight if the weather is in our favor. And then, of course, at this particular time, I'm looking towards next season as much as I'm looking towards the playoffs this season. We're working on the idea of expanding our membership up to 24 franchises for next year. We presently have 18 active franchises. We've awarded one to Denver, and now there's intense interest in the other 5 spots that we might well award for next year. Over the years, we've had tremendous success come out of the expansion franchises. In 1973, Philadelphia did well. 1974, Seattle and San Jose did extremely well. 1975, Tampa and Portland did well for us. And of course, the real success story probably of sports in the last 10 years was the success here last year in Minnesota. A brand new franchise with owners who had never previously been in sports attracted 23,000 people the first year, an average of 23, and this year they've increased that to an average of over 33,000. So it really is a tremendous success story.
And, Commissioner, we have the man who was responsible primarily for that success here in Minnesota with us, Jack Crocker. And as Phil Woosnam said, Jack, you had little or no experience at all in professional sports. Maybe that was an advantage for you coming in here to Minnesota.
It's true. We've had no experience in professional sports, but we have been in retailing for probably 25 years. And to us, soccer, professional soccer, is another form of retailing. And in retailing, you learn that success is relative to the strength of your commitment to your customer. And we call them customers in Minnesota. We don't even refer to them as fans.
Well, the fans here are very committed to you as well.
Yes, there has developed a strong feeling of mutual trust, mutual loyalty, and we even say that the customers, the fans, are a part of our team.
Jack, and we'll be back with more halftime activities from Bloomington, Minnesota in just a moment. Besides being the nation's best soccer coach, a television commentator, also makes movies on the side. We can take a look at a film that Walt made recently, and before we take a look at it, we'll remind you that there is a reference made to Walt preparing the Olympic B team for a trip to Yugoslavia. They've made that trip. They were very successful. They won 4 out of 5 games. Walt says these guys can play. Anyway, here's the film, and here's Walt.
And now here is Walter Chisowitz, national coach for the United States Soccer Federation.
Here we are in Pennsylvania, and we're working with our U.S. Olympic B team, and it's an explosion of soccer. We're preparing this team to take them to Yugoslavia for some international competition. But here we want to talk about why we're taking this team there and where this team came from. There's such a large number of soccer players in America, boys, girls, from East Coast to West Coast, South, Midwest. Everybody's kicking a soccer ball. Size, weight, strength or power is not a very significant thing, and they can all play. And it also does contribute into their mental stimulation, where the youngster must think a lot, and he must be able to play as a quarterback in football or as a guard in basketball. He must create and build plays and use his mental as well as the physical abilities. We don't have accurate numbers of how many are kicking a soccer ball, but we venture to say at least 2 million of them are running around and kicking a ball. And we're aiming to have at least 40,000 coaches coaching soccer players within the next 4 or 5 years. Coca-Cola has provided the finances to develop these youngsters. They have provided coaches' manual for our coaching schools. They have provided films for our coaches. They have provided films for our referees. Get involved by joining the recreational leagues. Get involved by joining your United States Soccer Federation teams. We need you to be part of this total scene, the growth in America and the development of soccer players. We have around the country all kinds of organizations where you can come in, sign up in any capacity you'd like to be. For sure we want to see the youngsters kicking a soccer ball. For sure we want to see the mothers and the fathers coaching these teams. For sure we want to see some of those mothers and fathers as administrators in the leagues and help us organize and make this thing, the soccer sport in America, a competitive one, that we can take our teams to Russia for the Olympics, that we can take our teams to Spain for the World Cup and be a winner.
For more information, contact your local soccer league or the United States Soccer Federation. 350 Fifth Avenue, Suite 4010, New York, 10001.
NASL Championship Soccer is brought to you by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. And by Toyota. You asked for soccer and you got it. Thanks to Toyota, makers of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, the official car of the NASL. And by the people in your town who also bring you the bright, refreshing taste of Coca-Cola. Coke adds life to just about everything you do.
Stuntman, you get the bruises instead of the glory. You hit the deck and bite the dust till your bones ache. But now comes Miller time. Time to reach for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer.
My daughter's Kodak camera is her window on the world. She owns her own Kodak Tele-Instamatic 608 camera, so she takes pictures two ways. Telephoto and normal at the flick of a switch. It's like having two cameras in one pocket. Big, colorful pictures. Telephoto and normal.
Like having two windows on the world. Oh, look. Oh, Dad.
Make the most of the times of your life. Own your own Kodak Tele-Instamatic camera.
Boy, I'd love that Celica. But what I need is a truck.
You asked for it. Toyota's SR5 long bed sport truck.
Hot dog.
Gutsy 2.2-liter engine, power-assisted front disc brakes, high back bucket seats, 5 speeds, radials, car-like ride. The Toyota Sport Truck. For a truck, it's some set of wheels. If you can find a better-built truck than Toyota, buy it.
You got it, Toyota.
The second half has just begun here from Minnesota, and look out, the kicks right off the bat. Addie Coker streaking down, but Ivanhoe, the Seattle goalkeeper, able to take it away from him. Second half, the last 45 minutes of this ball game, and we're tied 0-0. The Seattle Sounders in white, the Minnesota Kicks in orange, and here's a drive by Tommy Ord and a save by Jeff Barnett. Well, there's Tommy Ord, and right off the bat, we have the end-to-end action.
Yes, here it is. Tommy Ord, well taken, and again, Jeff Barnett does a super job, and this is a replica of the first half. Seattle came out very strong right away in the first half and had several chances. Now again here, Tommy Ord tried to put him on the scoreboard.
Well, Futcher let it go that time, but nobody was there behind him to take it, and Seattle able to clear it out. This is the first game of a two-game series. The winner will be the champion, the ultimate champion of the Western Division. Tonight, New York is meeting first place Fort Lauderdale in the first of a two-game series for the championship of the Eastern Division. And tonight, Dallas is at Los Angeles for the championship of the Southern Division. Last night, Rochester defeated Toronto 1-0 on a shootout in Rochester. They'll meet again Tuesday for the championship for the Northern Division, the Black and Blue Division. Here's Paul Price, and he's bumped there by Buttle, and a foul is called. A look at the first half statistics. Minnesota doubling the shots of the Sounders. Mike Ivanhoe and Jeff Barnett, however, each made 3 saves, and each club with 3 corner kicks. No score in the match. 1 foul on Seattle in the first half. 9 on Minnesota. Here come the kicks. Alan West, number 10, Nessa Lakeway, number 11. Nessa Lakeway is ridden hard by Mickey Cave, number 12 of Seattle, and a foul is called, and then Cave kicks the ball away out of bounds.
The decision was correct. I think we saw Mickey here using his arm and straight arming as of in American football, and that doesn't work here in soccer. So Ace has got a free kick, and Minnesota's going to try to put it into play.
Well, it works, but it's just not legal.
Oh, I see. That's okay. I'm sorry. I take it back.
Look out. Here's Merrick winding, fires, deflected, in front for Fletcher, shot! And it's just wide of the net. Who do they give it to? Corner kick, Minnesota. Boy, at the end of the first half, we saw that sort of thing happening.
Here it is on replay again, and this is again in a scramble of a lot of bodies, and Mike Ivanhoe again was very alert and put a piece of hand to it and knocked it out of bounds for a corner kick. I'm telling you, Mike hasn't seen much action this year, but he's getting it all today.
Alan West in the right wing corner, number 10, high ball, and England after the ball, but Price heads it down into the corner, but nobody there, and Steve Buttle lets it go over the end line for a goal kick for Seattle from Minneapolis. This is NASL Championship Soccer.
Mike England, number 5. Now to take the goal kick. Number 2, Ducky Scott. 18 is Camior. Number 4. Marked by Fletcher. Play on the side. Steve Lett. That's 5. For Fletcher.
John Miller, Walt Chisowitz back here in Bloomington, Minnesota, as Mike Ivanhoe will start the ball out for the Seattle Sounders, as we still have 41 minutes to play in regulation here to see if one of these teams is going to break the ice in this very tensely, tightly played playoff game.
It's becoming that way, and the more time elapses here, the more difficulty Minnesota will have. So they have to now in the next 15 minutes try to get on the scoreboard, because otherwise Seattle will tighten up as much as possible and leave here with a tie if that may be the case.
Now, here's an opportunistic steal by Buttle, number 15. Crossing ball for Cade. He drops it back out for Buttle. A shot is deflected by, I believe, Paul Price of Minnesota. Or no, they say it was not deflected. All right, so a goal kick for the Minnesota Kicks. Last touch by the Sounders, no deflection. Next Sunday, 1 week from today, we'll be on 1 hour later, 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central, with a conference championship game. And you'll see 2 teams, one of which will be in Soccer Bowl 77 2 weeks from today. All right, here come the kicks. Merrick starts it ahead to Willie, number 9. Tries to head the ball down for Coker, cleared away by Webster of Seattle, and a throw-in for the Minnesota Kicks at midfield. Here's a good look at Jimmy Robertson. He really turned this club on last year. His great offensive ability, then had his leg broken in a game with Philadelphia, but has recovered 100%. You'd never know it. Now Bruce Twomley also recovering from a broken leg. In the middle for Alan West. Here comes the quarterback. West steps around Webster. Pushes it ahead for Addie Coker, the Sounder killer. To West for Willie inside. Machen clears. Comes to Moran. Feeds it in front for Fletcher. Can't get it. Ivanhoe picks up the ground ball.
You can see Seattle now packing it in with sometimes 9 people and trying to keep Minnesota off the scoreboard, but whether they can do this for 40 minutes, I'm not so sure. So I think that they're going to have to come out a bit as well and try to attack and try to get on the board.
Minnesota 11-2 at home this year, and Minnesota 23-4 at home overall the last 2 years. Ironically, they're one shot on national television in a game played here this year. They lost to Los Angeles and Georgie Best and company.
You think this may be a problem today? Maybe national TV is turning them off again?
I am not going to accept any blame or any responsibility. They're going to win or lose. They're going to have to do it without us. Here's a chip for Willie. He'll have to go after it, but Machen clears, comes to Coker, fires it on the full volley. Misses high and wide over the end line, and the Seattle Sounders have a goal kick. 38 minutes left in the ball game. So Ivanhoe will tee it up here on the goal kick. Now England is going to take the goal kick for the Seattle Sounders. Again, the total goals mean nothing here. If you lose 10-0, it's the same as losing 1-0. It's only the win or the loss. And then if the games are tied at 1-1 after Wednesday's game, then they'll play a 30-minute mini-game. Sudden death. Look out, here comes Nesselenque. Ahead for Addy Coker, but it goes behind him. Little mistakes like that cost you good chances at goals.
Well, John, these are playoff mistakes. Both teams are tight, they're nervous, they want to do everything perfect, and it's only human that doesn't work that way. So consequently, we're going to see a little bit of that as we've seen in the first half. There were some near chances of scoring goals, and they ran over the top or by the post, and these are the playoff jitters, and it's expected.
Mike Ivanhoe with a low punt goes to Mickey Cave. Distributed it off on the right side for Jockey Scott. Back for Robertson. Robertson picked up by Alan West. Out of Jockey Scott. Merrick over to pick him up. Scott juking, looking for somebody inside. Now goes around Merrick. Goes inside for Webster, but intercepted by Nesselenque. Now the Kicks will try to counterattack, but first Coker will take the safe route back to his goalkeeper, Jeff Barnett.
You see all that play here in front of the penalty box of Minnesota by Jockey Scott. This is all too much time, and consequently Minnesota had time to organize their backs and created a very congested area, so it was almost impossible to go through.
They're going to get the ball here to the Seattle Sounders. And they called a foul on Alan Willie of the Minnesota Kicks on the play over there, so they'll get it back to Mike Ivanhoe. Ivanhoe, who when he gives it full throttle, has been known to punt a ball up to 75 yards. It's 150 or 60 there, but Minnesota has it. Nesselenque ahead for Futcher. Back on the sideline, but Twombly can't save it. Out of bounds it goes. Turnover for Minnesota, and give it back to Seattle. And again, we see the tentative passing, just not wanting to make the mistake that could give up a goal here.
A bit erratic for sure in both parts of the team. I think partially is also the field is not as smooth as it should be for soccer, because last night they played football here. They did show it up a bit, and the ball's not rolling very true. This is why maybe in the first half we had Twombly and Ace missing those serves.
Foul was called there on the Minnesota Kicks. We'll get a look at it. Twombly taking the man's feet out. Close call there. Looks like he hit the ball.
It seemed like he struck it, but the referee's right on top, so I'm sure he can see it better than anybody else. So I guess we'll give them that one.
Jeff Barnett there takes the ball away from Gillett. We'll throw it out to Nesselenque, number 11. Ace pushes the ball by Steve Buttle, tries to beat him to it, but Buttle right there to knock the ball away from him. And then Nesselenque loses out of bounds. Another throw in for Seattle. 34 minutes, 45 seconds left in regulation. Again, time working against Minnesota, even though it's a 0-0 score. And the Kicks, who had some chances last part of the first half and early here in the second half, but unable to put the ball in the net, now they have not been playing with that fluidity. Here comes Merrick. Got men in front, goes in front, has Coker there, but again, Mal Machin there to knock the ball away. The strength of the Sounders, that back line.
There it is. Again, the serve here by even Machin, when he served it, was not a good one. It was too low, and possibly he miskicked it because of the turf, but certainly I think he wanted to go a bit higher and a bit sharper.
Now the Sounders have it. Jimmy Robertson gets the ball in to number 18, Tommy Ord. 7 goals, 7 assists for the year for Ord. Mickey Cave always knocked down by Stephen Litt. Referee says play on, no foul. Well, let one get by there. Now the ball goes to Moran. He's hit by Jockey Scott. A foul is called, and a free kick for Minnesota. Well, while we have a moment, you've got something coming up in early September. We'll talk about it later. From Minneapolis, this is NASL Championship Soccer.
The taste and the feeling you like. Coca-Cola, you and me, looking for some extra life. Things are looking nice, pink and green, yellow and blue. I want some Coke and a rainbow too. Coke is life, everybody wants a little light. Coca-Cola, Coke life. Coca-Cola, Coke adds life. Everybody wants another life. Coca-Cola.
Minnesota kicks with the ball in their own zone, and Barnett will start it up. Quickly, Walt. You've got some big international soccer the U.S. is going to be involved in early September.
This is true, John. We have a big one coming up September 4, 9, and 11. There'll be doubleheaders between the United States, Peru, Colombia, and Ecuador. We played them last year in those countries respectively, and now they're coming to us. So we hope to see a large attendance by the American crowd in New York.
Here's Nesselenque for Coker. Header in front of Willie, knocked down. Comes out of the penalty box. Alan West tracks it down. The Kicks trying to get the offense in gear. Now on top of the box for Coker. Swings around, fires a shot, but he's high with it over the bar. Goal kick, Seattle. Well, Minnesota, we've had most of the real good offensive thrusts have been by the Minnesota Kicks. But they've been unable to put the ball in the net, and Ivanhoe has really been tested, what, once or twice in this one?
Only on 2 occasions, and but they must fire from the outside of the D, outside of the penalty box, like just the last one taken by Coker. They must test them from distance first and possibly get on the board. They're trying to get into the box too often, and nothing is happening because it's too crowded. Seattle's bringing back a couple more players. They're defending with 7 and 8 at times.
Well, you saw the list there a moment ago. 9 All-Stars represented on these 2 ball clubs. 9 of the league's All-Stars. And that was on a vote taken by the players and tabulated and reported by the Sporting News. Seattle moving into the attack. On a throw-in, Jimmy Robertson looks inside, goes for Tommy Ord. Paul Price, number 3, is on him. And Ord loses the ball. And they're going to say that Price last touched it, or are they going to call Price for a foul? I think they just said Price last touched it. So throw-in for the Sounders again. Mickey Cave is... Robertson was standing there, wanted to throw the ball in, but they said, no, Jimmy, we're going to have somebody else throw it in.
He's going to go with the big throw, as you can see it there, and it's well planned, but unfortunately he went over it too high and nothing happened.
Here comes the long ball out for Alan Willie, but he can't catch up to it. And the ball will belong to the Seattle Sounders again. 30 minutes and 25 seconds left in the match. A lot of time left. England long ball. And Ord and Litt tangle up, and Minnesota comes out with it. Twombly, number 2, the right fullback. Twombly to midfield. Now feeds a ground ball ahead for Alan West. West ahead for Alan Willie. The goal scorer from the playmaker. Back it goes to the playmaker, West. 11 assists. Nary a goal, but 11 assists. In the middle, here's Price, has some room to run. Wines, fires a shot, and it's just saved by Ivanhoe.
And Mike, on this one was a bit lucky because really his let's watch it on the monitor, but his technique here is not the best in the world, and Mike is slipping on this one. There's a shot ball taken, but his body should have been there to front that ball, and it wasn't. So it's a corner kick.
West in the right wing corner, the fans are alive. Low ball, Willie tries to play it, he's got it, look out. Shot deflected, bounced by England, a bicycle shot just over the bar. Litt followed it in as Willie with a fabulous effort that time. And a goal kick for Seattle.
John, that was a super effort on this occasion. He does a scissor kick with his back turned to the goal, but he just pushes it a bit too high. I think he wanted to loop it over Mike. Mike had come out of the goal, but unfortunately he went over the bar and out of bounds, and it's a goal kick.
So again, the kicks with the good activity in front of the net, but no goal. It's been the story of the day.
I think what they need to do, get into the box as they did and bring the ball out of the box, someone coming from the back and firing, because there are still too many bodies there, and the only way they're going to get through that congested area is by a deflection, but nothing very pure or accurate.
And that's what we saw with Paul Price, the fullback who nearly scored in that long one from outside.
Exactly.
Here's a header by Willie into the penalty area. Nobody there. Gillett, number 17, tries to clear, and now they may have given away a corner kick. Well, McAllister tried to save it. He did. He gave him a throw-in rather than a corner kick. So, number 3, McAllister. Nicely done that time.
And this is the reason why he's an all-star for the NASL. What an encouraging thing for the American soccer players around the country. A 20-year-old boy on the all-star team, a rookie who's done it all this year. He's a tribute to the American athlete and American soccer player.
Nesselenque that time could not go around Buttle. And the Sounders bring it out. Quick pass ahead for Mickey Cave, number 12. He has Ord on the left side, goes to him. Robertson in front. Now a pass for Cave from Ord, cleared by Alan West. Neselenque leaps after it, but he missed time to leap. McAllister dumps it back into Minnesota zone. Twomley's there. Looks for somebody to go to, and then loses it to Buttle. Buttle playing a good hustling game. Out to Ord. Back to Buttle in the corner. He's open, and he was offside. So a free kick for the Minnesota Kicks in their own zone. Quickly into Barnett. 27-20 left. Kicks who have had some chances to score in this game, but they've been unable to do so. There you get a look at the shots. 15-6 now for Minnesota. Got a wide advantage there, and that tells the story, I think, of the territorial advantage they've had as well. Now Twomley, they work it into the attacking zone. A pass for Neselenque. Neselenque works on the rookie. McAllister tries to go around him, but McAllister again, cagily, stepped in front of him, but does give up a corner kick.
John, and what's happening really is neither team has been establishing any kind of rhythm continuously. They've been a bit erratic both ends. And for a while they make some good combination play and go to goal, but then all of a sudden it's over the top and they lose their rhythm. And this is partially because of the playoff competition as well as nerves and tension.
West gets the ball out. Here goes Stephen Lind. Header on the net, right on, save. Rebound is just cleared, just in the nick of time. The rebound came out. They had Coker and Willie right in front, but neither one of them ready for the rebound.
And this is a good serve, and I think Mike England here fell asleep a little bit because West came from the back of him, from the blind side, a perfect header, but again saved by Mike Ivanhoe and possibly one of the defenders. I think it was Machen.
Now Minnesota trying to move in again, back to live action, but Jimmy Robertson able to take the ball away. The Kicks are really pushing forward now, leaving only 2 or 3 fullbacks back as they thrust forward. Look out, here comes Mickey Cave. He drives in, tries to chip it over the goalkeeper, but loses it. Goal kick for Minnesota. From Minneapolis, this is NASL Championship Soccer.
Boy, what I'd give for one of those Toyotas that's got room for us and all this stuff.
You asked for it, the Toyota Corolla Liftback. Go ahead, load her up. It's built with plenty of room for people and things. Then take it just about anywhere because Toyotas can take it. They're built tough and they're built dependable. In fact, if you can find a better built small car than Toyota, buy it.
You asked for it, you got it, Toyota. Heads are turning to Vitalis. Heads are turning.
Pardon me. Can I give you a lift?
Heads are turning to Vitalis.
Hey!
Heads are turning.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
Today's women are turning to men with shorter hair. That's why more men are turning to Vitalis for that clean together, younger look. So use Vitalis and start some heads turning.
Excuse me, is this seat taken?
Heads are turning.
We're into the stretch run in this ball game. A lot of time left, but time is becoming a factor for the Minnesota Kicks. No score in the match, 24 and a half to go. The Kicks need to get a goal. They need to win this game because game 2 is in Seattle. Here come the Kicks. Now Coker on the right wing tries to go around McAllister, but again McAllister stepped in front of him, rode him off the ball, and now the Sounders get it out. McAllister, I guess, is working with all those great all-star defenders back there, but he's picked up quite a bit. That's how to do it.
Johnny has that quickness and speed to recover, and Coker cannot get by him. I would suggest that Coker would swing over to the other side and maybe try Machen for a while because he's not doing anything with Jimmy.
This is Dave Gillett now as Seattle tries to bring it in, but West deflects the pass to Willie. Back to West. Here they come, the fans urging them on. Coker again to move it in on young Jimmy McAllister. Dumps it on top for the good scorer Futcher, and Futcher just gave it away. It looked like they wanted to work the give and go that time with Coker and Futcher, but the return pass was not that well placed. Next Sunday, the conference championship round begins. 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central, and 2 weeks from today, Soccer Bowl 77, right here on TVS. Here come the Sounders. Jimmy Robertson will correct that. Tommy Ord, number 18, drops to Machen. Chip for Mickey Cave, the leading scorer. It's over his head, and Jeff Barnett grabs it. Barnett, 15 shutouts in the last 2 years for this Minnesota ball club, was the 5th leading goalkeeper in the league this season with 8 shutouts. Fine goalkeeper. Well, now here Minnesota gives the ball away. Allen West and Barnett got their signals crossed. Machen to throw it in, the veteran defender for the Seattle Sounders. Gets the ball intended for Buttle. He got it to Buttle. But now Merrick steals. Quick clearing pass to Willie. Willie in the middle for Futcher. Knocked away from him by number 2, Jockey Scott. And Seattle has it. Sounders have not really mounted a serious threat on goal throughout this half. Here comes Jimmy McAllister, the young American. He goes around Twombly, centers it in front for Buttle, and a shot just goes wide left of the net. Well done by McAllister.
Okay, and that was a super play by Jimmy, and unfortunately he didn't do enough of that in the first half. For the first time in the second half, he's arrived in the attacking third of the field and became a dangerous player, so he has to add that other dimension to it. He's a very good defender, but now he must also get involved in the attacks as he just did on that last play.
22 minutes left in the match. John Miller, Walt Jesuits bringing it all to you. And again, these same TBS stations next Sunday. Be with us, a conference championship game. One of the teams you'll see will be in Soccer Bowl 77. Nesselenque moving into the penalty box, fires a shot with the left foot and misses the net wide right. And a Seattle goal kick coming up. From Minneapolis, this is NASL Championship Soccer.
When you're like John White, the sportsman and world-famous men's fashion designer, you don't just smoke a cigar, you wear it. That's why John White's designed a cigar for men like himself, Capitan. He styled the pack, bands, and 4 shapes to flatter your looks, while tobacco experts combined African Cameroon wrapper and mild imported filler to flatter your taste. Try Capitan by John White. See how good looks can taste.
Food, cocoa make it taste real good, like a picnic should. Come to the cookout, the weather is clear, when the fire's hot and everyone's here. Coke adds life, everybody wants a little life. Coca-Cola, Coke adds life, a little life.
20 minutes, 25 seconds left. The white-shirted Seattle Sounders have the ball tied 0-0 here in Minnesota against the orange-shirted Minnesota Kicks. Mickey Cave, 6th leading scorer in the league. To Steve Buttle, he's tripped by Moran. Referee says play on.
I think it was a good decision. A little bit of acting on that part as well, especially in the penalty box. The referee didn't want to hear it. There was nothing very serious to call it a foul.
Here come the Kicks. Coker to Nesselenque in the danger zone. Nesselenque back to Coker, and McAllister saw it coming. Clears to midfield. Litt knocks the ball down for Twombly, number 2. Kicks will start it right back into the zone. Long ball for Coker, too long. And Ivanhoe takes it on a couple of hops in the penalty box. Well, Ivanhoe's had a lot of slipping and sliding in that dirt today, as the Kicks have put forward quite a few attacks, and they've really tested the backup goalkeeper of the Seattle Sounders. The Sounders, who, with Tony Chersky, their regular goalkeeper, a Canadian Olympic player formerly and a World Cup player for Canada, out of action today, but Ivanhoe's done a good job. Here come the Kicks again. Knocked down by Jockey Scott of Seattle. Moran goes after it, but Minnesota able to get it out. Robertson starts it in. The paid attendance today in Minnesota, 35,889. The league average for the playoffs will be somewhere around 26,000 when the day is done. Here comes Minnesota again. Ace Nesselenque, number 11. Pass off to the right wing for West. Buttle saw it coming and clears it out of bounds. Throw in Minnesota. Coming up the fullback, Paul Price to take it. He'll take it to the sideline. This is Price moving in. He's got Coker on top. He's got Futcher inside. Here's Futcher around the fullback. He's got Ivanhoe out of the net, and Ivanhoe clears it over the end line. Wait a minute. The linesman in the corner said last touch by the Minnesota Kicks. So Ivanhoe not only cleared it, apparently cleared it off the Minnesota player.
Again, the decision was correct. Ivanhoe banked the ball off to the attacker's foot and knocked it out of bounds for a goal kick. The fans were looking for a hometown decision, but the referee's on top of the play. He's doing a fine job. Everything's very clear up to now.
Coker called for the foul there, throwing the elbow down on Jimmy McAllister. Free kick for the Seattle Sounders. Well, they had 58,000 in New York, just about 36,000 here today. More than 21,000 in Vancouver Wednesday, and tonight it's 7 o'clock at the Meadowlands Giant Stadium in New Jersey. Fort Lauderdale, first place finishers. The Coach of the Year, Ron Newman, leading them. And a strong Rookie of the Year candidate, George Nanchoff, their leading scorer. That should be quite a game. The Cosmos in Fort Lauderdale, and there could be upwards of 70,000. Advanced sales indicating that for that one tonight in New York.
Well, John, you're talking about attendance, and if New York has not proven that the game has arrived in America with 58,000, 62,000, then 3 days ago in Erie, PA, the Olympic team had 6,000 people watching a soccer game, so now we know that the game is here.
17:05 left in the match, and the Minnesota Kicks needing a goal in a 0-0 tie, but they'll safely play it to the goalkeeper. Again, fans, the outstanding player of this game will be selected shortly before the end of the telecast, and the winner will receive an award of $1,500. Stay tuned for that. We'll have the announcement on that. The members of the Professional Soccer Reporters Association who are in attendance today will be voting on that. Now the referee stopping time as the Seattle Sounders want to make a substitution. It looks like they want to get Tom Jenkins, a veteran midfielder, into the ball game, replacing Jimmy Robertson. Now, Walt, as a coach, your reasoning, why does Gabriel make this move?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm really disappointed in Jimmy Robertson's work today. I thought he would be doing much better than he's doing today. I think he might be a bit injured, or maybe not as fit as he was during the course of the season, and he's not doing the job that Jimmy Gabriel expects him to do, and that's why he went out.
Here's a ball in front by Futcher as the Kicks again furiously rattling the ball around in the penalty area, but unable to get the hard shot of the net. So Seattle starts it out with 16:20 left in the match. That's, well, regulation time of the match. If it's tied at the end of the 90 minutes, we'll go into a sudden death overtime.
Tom Jenkins.
Seattle with the ball. Tom Jenkins just on. Solid player, started most of the year last season, but has not been playing much this year. Minnesota takes it. Alan West will start it forward. Gets the ball to Mark Moran. Moran, third-round draft choice from Southern Illinois. Out of Twomley on the right wing, the Canadian Olympic and national team player. Moran in the middle. England out on him. Feeds it off on the left wing for Alan Merrick. They have only two fullbacks left at midfield. They're pushing everybody else forward. Esselenque around Webster. Around Buttle. Reverses. Still has it. Finally held it too long. Quick counter-attacking ball for Tommy Ord. Ord has Cave coming down the middle. Ord working there. And Merrick knocks it away from him to Moran. And Ord held the ball too long. Here's West off to the races in the right wing. Coker, Willie, and Futcher in front. Now in the middle, here's Esselenque. He fires a ball in front, and it spins off wide left of the net. And a goal kick from Minneapolis. This is NASL Championship Soccer.
There's 85 feet between you and the ground, and there's enough juice at your fingertips to light up the county. But now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best-tasting beer you can find. America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
When it's time to relax, Miller stands clear. Beer after beer. If you got the time, we got the beer. Miller beer.
Shep Messing for smokeless tobacco.
I love soccer. And I love tobacco. But I don't light up. I get my tobacco pleasure the smokeless way. And so can you. With mild Happy Days mint, Skoal with the fresh wintergreen flavor, and Copenhagen for straight tobacco taste. Just a little pinch between your cheek and gum is all it takes. But the best part of going smokeless? It's really relaxing. Try some.
Mike Ivanhoe on a goal kick will let Dave Gillett, central defender, kick the ball out to midfield to Buttle, number 15. Ahead for Mickey Cave. Well, here's a dangerous guy this late in the ball game. Mickey Cave, Tommy Ord become a real factor at this stage. These guys can get free and pump one in on you.
This is for sure, John, and what's happening here, really, neither team has been able to establish a continuous rhythmic game, so they're depending on a lot of individuality, and consequently, nothing much is happening to this moment because the defenders are as good as the attackers. So Ace or Tommy Ord or Adi Kalker cannot get away from these people. So the defense is very solid, and they must, I think, get involved with more numbers. They got to go and give and go situations and develop better patterns, and it's not happening yet.
Ball belongs to Seattle on the left wing. Coker along with Buttle that time, and they say that Coker knocked it out of bounds. Throw in for the Seattle Sounders. On the left wing near midfield. Again, make your plans to be with us next Sunday. A conference championship game, 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central, here on TVS. Conference championship. One of the teams you'll see from either the Pacific or Atlantic Conference will represent their conference in Soccer Bowl 77, the championship of North America. Last year it went to Canada for the first time. Toronto defeating this Minnesota ball club in the finals, 3-0. Toronto still very much in the running this year. Here come the Sounders. Machen pushing up from his right fullback slot. Into the corner for Jenkins. Merrick on him. Goes around Merrick, but the double team able to take it away from him, Allen West. And then Minnesota with the throw-in as Jenkins knocks it out of bounds. Davy Butler has just come into the ball game for the Seattle Sounders. Butler, the leading scorer in Sounders history. 5'8", he's 24 years of age, 5 goals and 4 assists this year. And Butler into the ball game. And I believe, let's see, who did he come in for? Jockey Scott? Maybe. I think Jockey Scott has gone out and Davy Butler has come in. And Butler's one of these explosive types who can put one in on you.
Yes, he is. I saw him the last few games. He's been very exciting and going to go and trying to get goals for Seattle. So he might be a very important factor this late in the game.
Well, there's an intentional handball by Buttle. He may get a yellow caution card on that one. Referee says, no, let's just play ball. 12 minutes left in the match. In regulation. Free kick at midfield. Lit. 40-yard pass. Futcher there, but Gillett equal to the task. Coker knocks it down in front for Moran. Back to the 35-yard line to Merrick. Merrick to Allen West. Picked up by Machen. He's got Willie in front with Coker. Here's Nesselingway. Fires a shot. Just deflected by Butler. From Minneapolis, this is NASL Championship Soccer.
Go kick Seattle.
Going out with Skinny Marcia again?
Yeah, runt.
Does Dad know you're using his English leather aftershave?
Yeah, and his English leather shave cream, shampoo, and stick deodorant. Man's got to develop good grooming habits.
Smooth. You smell good, too. Too good for Skinny Marcia. Hey, I hear all Marcia's men wear English leather orders.
Don't say it.
English leather for men.
We played great as a team.
I operated the offense.
And I directed the defense.
And now we both drink light beer from Miller.
Not just because it tastes great, but also because it's got 1/3 less calories than their regular beer. It's less filling.
Hey, bartender, 2 more lights here. What's it all mean, Casey?
Simple, Sam.
If you want to keep up with the Joneses,
you better drink light beer.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
10 minutes, 20 seconds left in the match. John Miller, Walt Chesowitz, here at Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota. 36,000 soccer fans today. The Minnesota Kicks fighting for their lives. First of a 2-game set, game 2 in Seattle. So the Kicks, while they're at home, need a victory today. Sounders have a free kick. Ball into the penalty box, chipped into the air by Alan Merrick of Minnesota. Moran after the ball, knocks it down for West. West swings it out to Nesselingway. Buttle putting the pressure on, and Ace drops it into Jeff Barnett, the goalkeeper. 9:45 left in the match. If the game ends in a tie, we'll go into a sudden death overtime. Barnett to send the high punt, long downfield. Coker heads it into the penalty area. Look out, Willie almost got to it, but England just did. Slide it back to Ivanhoe, the goalkeeper.
Okay, the game now is just being played to capitalize on someone's mistake, and Mike England almost did make that mistake where a chance for Minnesota could have occurred, but unfortunately he got the ball out of bounds. So this is what they're looking for, somebody to make a mistake now.
Coker got it to Nesselingway. Nesselingway around Buttle, and Buttle trips it. Well, Buttle didn't want to be the man who made that mistake. He got beaten flat in the corner. He may have to pay for it, though. The referee is going to give him a yellow card. He will have to pay for it. He'll have to pay a monetary fine. So the referee said that was intentional. Flagrant foul, and you see him there. He'll write it down on the yellow card, and he'll pay money.
Okay, we'll see it here, and here's what Aces can do so well. He uses second gear, accelerates, and Buttle couldn't handle the situation and had to bring him down. And I think he had to do it, otherwise Ace was in and possibly a real good chance to score, so he had no recourse but to bring him down.
Well, he'll have to pay a fine, but it may help him win the ball game. Here's West on the free kick into the box. Here's Willie alone, just cleared away from him by Dave Gillett of the Sounders. Cleared out, comes to Merrick. Still in the danger zone, moves in, centering ball in front. They have 3 men there. Shot, and a great save by Ivanhoe. Coker made the shot, and Ivanhoe used the full length of that 6-foot 4-inch frame to tip it over the bar.
Okay, here we'll watch it again on the replay, and here's a super effort by Coker, one, and Mike here going over the bar with the ball. Fantastic save. John, if you told me that Mike hasn't played and was a backup keeper today, I wouldn't believe you.
Inside, a header by Price. Shot! Ron Futcher scores the goal on a pass from Paul Price with 8:28 to go, and they're standing on their feet. 36,000 strong, cheering the Minnesota Kicks.
Futcher was very alert, put his foot in and stuck it under the crossbar. Can't play Mike Ivanhoe, but you can see there on the replay, maybe Mel Macon fell asleep a little bit because he allowed Ron Futcher to get into there from the blind side, and there it is. He sticks his foot in and puts it under the crossbar.
Well, they make the announcement and another cheer for the fans in Minnesota. After 81 and a half minutes, they finally got the goal. And Price will get the assist. And West will also get an assist on the play. So here come the kicks again. Here comes Willie moving inside. Now to Futcher. Back to Willie. Willie's got an opening. He shoots, and a save by Ivanhoe. And McAllister just knocks it off the goal line with Coker streaking in from the blind side.
Okay, we see it here on the replay again, and again, well done here. Ball's collected, he beats England on this, and Mike Ivanhoe again comes to save another goal with a super save.
Corner kick. West in the right wing gives it up, but it comes out of the penalty box to Nesselinque. Full volley shot, misses the net wide left, and Seattle momentarily with the pressure off will have a goal kick. Ivanhoe, who so many times today has kept his club in the game with spectacular work in front of the net. Nothing he can do on that one. And then a moment later, he saved his second goal.
He's done a job for them, so there's no problem with he getting a lot of credit for playing a super game and still being very alive and a very active goalkeeper.
So Ron Futcher, who scored 11 goals and 4 assists, 12th best in the league during the regular season, scores his second playoff goal of his career.
And ironically, Ron was not having a super game. He was miskicking the ball and putting it over the bar and mispassing it. And there he is, an opportune player who was able to find the space and knock it into the goal.
Futcher after the ball here. It's cleared out of bounds by Gillett from behind, and a throw-in for the Minnesota Kicks. There you get a look at Ron Futcher. 11 of those goals in the regular season, and this one, well, he'll take this one, perhaps his biggest of the year, in the playoffs. Again, there are no bonus points in the playoffs. It's just a win-or-lose proposition. Ball into Futcher in the corner. Double team down there. Loses it. Throw in for the Seattle Sounders. 6 minutes and 5 seconds left. Well, Seattle now can push up. Nothing to lose here by going after a tying goal.
Well, the thing here, John, is that Minnesota, if they do it right, and apparently they are doing it right, they're going to put the pressure immediately right there in the Seattle defending third. So they don't want to let them come out, which is very wise on the part of Coach Freddie Good when he's saying, push up, don't come back, don't fall back, let's still attack, which they're doing, as you can see.
Here they come. This is Coker. He's got Futcher and Willie in front. Coker plays the ball off in the middle to Nesselinque. A lot of room. Ace drives in the dirt. He looks for the shot, takes the shot, and he misses wide right. Goal kick Seattle. Nesselinque a little tough going that time. From Minneapolis, this is NASL Championship Soccer.
Sure, Schick loves my face, and your face too. Terrific shaves are their business, right? But right now, Schick is making it their business to love these faces, my kids. Send Schick proof of purchase of any Schick blades. They'll donate 50 cents to our muscular dystrophy campaign, give you a 50-cent refund, and a great shave. So when you go to your store and buy Schick blades, here's what happens. You get a terrific shave, and my kids get the money. Thank you, Schick. Thank you.
The battery graveyard. 119,000 batteries end up here every day. Here's the one that started a revolution in car batteries, the JCPenney battery. It has more starting power than any other battery you can buy. You never add water, and it's fully warranted for as long as you own your car. If it fails, return it. We'll replace it free. Only at JCPenney Auto Centers or catalog desks. It's the last battery your car will ever need.
John Miller, Walt Chisowitz back here at Bloomington, Minnesota, where the Minnesota Kicks have a 1-0 lead over the Seattle Sounders with 4 minutes and 12 seconds left. Seattle has the ball looking for that tying goal, but it's going to take, well, it's going to take quite an effort to do it. Here's a pass now for Tommy Ord. He's picked up by Price in the middle. He's got Butler. He looks for the opening, ships it toward the net. It hits the post. Out of the net, and they clear it away. Davy Butler with a cagey play, chipped it over the head of the goalkeeper and just hit the crossbar.
John, here's the replay, and this is a super effort. He does it so well. The keeper comes out, overcommits himself, and a beautiful chip, unfortunately, strikes the bottom of the crossbar in front of the goal line and gets out of the way. And this is bad luck for Seattle because this was the only chance they had in the first half, and there it was, an opportune moment to equalize, but just unlucky, and the score is still 1-0 for Minnesota.
The Seattle trainer, John Anderson, is now administering to player Tom Jenkins as Jenkins followed in on the rebound, and I think he cracked into the goal post. Correct that, it's Adrian Webster, number 16, not Jenkins. Webster followed in, and he's getting up right now, and it looks like he may be all right. But I don't know if he got hit in the back or what happened here. Well, Ron Futcher has just been named the Copenhagen Skol Player of the Game by members of the Professional Soccer Reporters Association, and Ron will receive a $1,500 check from the United States Tobacco Company. So congratulations to Ron Futcher, and we'll be having these players of the game in all of our playoff telecasts. Butler inside, he's got a man wide open, Tommy Ord shot, he scores! Oh my goodness, Tommy Ord has done it again, Walt. Can you believe it?
Here it is, John, and we talked about it all day. Guys like Tommy Ord. Here he is, collects it on his chest, brings it down with a beautiful sweeping kick into the far corner, and a very good goal. The defense fell asleep. They left them naked on the 8-yard line. Now he equalizes 1-1. And this is what we talked about. You talk about having confidence, scoring 5 or 6 goals in the last 5 games. Here's a player with 5 minutes on the clock, still confident enough that he can score, and he did the job.
Well, the Seattle Sounders have pulled one out of the hat, at least at this point. Tommy Ord scores his 7th goal in his last 6 games. So now we're 1-1. We're right back where we started. Here comes Coker. Butler knocks him over. Foul on Butler. Free kick for Minnesota. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the match, and sudden death overtime is staring us right in the face. Kicks on the attack for Futcher inside. Big Mike Englund clears. Coker goes after it in the corner with Butler, number 8, right on him. Coker looking for room, can't find any, and Butler nicely takes it away with a pass to McAllister. McAllister clears, but it goes right to Ellen West. Inside, 3 minutes left of the match. West, long, quick pass in front. Gillett anticipates, clears it to Tommy Ord. Well, that's got to be the deal of the decade right there. Tommy Ord picked up just before the trading deadline. Here comes Mickey Cave, their leading scorer. Over to Tommy Ord. Off on the sideline for Mel Machin. Well, they're pushing up for the winner. Here comes Jenkins, loose in the corner. Cross in front, header, hits the crossbar! The header by Buttle, hit the crossbar! Rebound comes out to Davy Butler. That's 3 times now. They've hit the crossbar twice. They scored in a 3rd. The Sounders are putting on tremendous pressure. High ball into the box. Look out. Barnett just does. Take it away from Tommy Ord.
John, and this is the thing. Off the crossbar, Steve Buttle was all alone and missed a volley kick into the empty net. That might have been the end result for the game. The scoring goal was missed by Buttle on a volley kick. He should have placed it. He tried to drive it with an instep and struck out on the swing, and that might have been the winning goal.
Here comes Minnesota. Coker trying to get that winning goal, and Jimmy McAllister with a comeback tackle clears it over the end line, and a Minnesota corner kick. We're inside 2 minutes, 1 minute, 42 seconds before overtime. But the way these teams have been going here the last moments of the game, don't bet on that.
Unbelievable. The first parts of the game, there was a dull game, and now in the last 10 minutes...
Look out! In front of Fletcher! Fletcher in front, and Ord just clears it away from him. Out of bounds, throw in for Minnesota. The Kicks trying to put one in here right at the end. They almost did it there. Fletcher had a moment of daylight. Here's Paul Price. Chip into the box for Alan Willie. He's got it. Out it goes. The Coker hits it on the full volley over the bar. And with 1:07 to go, goal kick Seattle. Well, Walt, as you said, how can you fathom this one? Right when it looked like they should be dead, Seattle hit the goalpost twice and they scored on a third one. They had 3 incredible chances at goal, probably 3 times the number of good chances they'd had all game long until that time.
John, this is the part of the game that we as coaches can never figure out. You think you have the game iced, 5 minutes remaining, and then all of a sudden your team goes down psychologically, too relaxed. Seattle still had a little bit of momentum, that less fighting power. They came out, they tried it, they equalized, and they almost won the game. So it's unbelievable, and this is why this game is such a fantastic game to play and coach.
We are 20 seconds until overtime, as you see in your clock at home. Here's West inside for Fletcher. Fletcher with Gillett on him. Fletcher goes after the ball.
The goal, so he sort of rectified his problem, and he saved the goal, and now it's a corner kick.
Well, no corner kick because they've stopped time. We are at the end of regulation time as you get a look at that last play.
Here's the last play, and here's where Machin makes a super play. Pressure on him, keeper out of the net, and he clears it out of bounds for a corner kick. And I think clock has ran out, and the game is over, and it's into overtime.
So don't go anywhere. That's the end of regulation time with a score. Seattle 1, Minnesota 1. We'll have the start of the first 7.5-minute overtime period following these messages. Corner kicks.
Yeah, all right.
You make this a little shorter.
Okay.
So
yeah, my fault. You're right. I didn't think he was going to take it that quickly. Okay.
Well, what are we going to do? We're going to stand up?
Jacket. Jacket.
Okay, let's just sit at the table and sit. Here, I'll get back.
Wednesday night, game 2 of the series between Minnesota and Seattle from the Kingdome in Seattle, starting at 7:30.
John Miller, Walt Chisowich back at Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota, where amazingly we have a 1-1 tie, a late goal, in fact, with about 7.5 minutes to go by Ron Futcher, and that looked like it would do it for Minnesota, but all of a sudden the Sounders came back. Butler hit the crossbar. Finally, Ord scored one, and then they almost scored again when they hit the crossbar for a second time. And Walter, how do you fathom it?
I have no explanation for these kinds of things. They just happen by instinct. There's no pre-planning. It's a spontaneous kind of a reaction. I think Minnesota felt content that they had the game won. They fell into a very passive game. Seattle had that last drive in and the last energy to go forward and try to equalize. And there it was. Ord was caught naked in the penalty box, turned around and placed it very well into the far corner. And then again, they came back and had a beautiful serve and a header. And then off the crossbar, Buttle struck out on a half volley kick, and that might have been the winning goal. Unbelievable.
Well, now we go into sudden death overtime. We will play a 7.5-minute period, and if there are no goals scored, obviously if there is a goal scored, the game is over right at that point. If there is no scoring, we'll have a break. the teams will change sides of the field, and we'll have a second 7.5-minute sudden death overtime. Walt, as a coach, the strategy in a sudden death.
Well, the strategy here is very difficult. Minnesota must win. They're at home. They should win. Seattle is now content with a 1-1 result. But again, they may become too complacent and consequently given the opportunities for Minnesota. I think the question here is which team is fitter, who wants to work harder, who really wants it to make it happen. I think it's mind over matter in this situation. 15 minutes of a lot of pressure, a lot of work, and the team with more fitness can prevail and win this game.
Well, as we mentioned, when Minnesota did score the game's first goal with very little time remaining, it looked like Minnesota had gotten what it had needed. And it was quite a goal by the Minnesota Kicks as well. Again, coming off the foot of Ron Futcher, their great big striker. Here it is, Walt.
Here it is, and it's a header there, and there it is. Futcher putting his foot in. Machen didn't see him coming from the blind side, and Ivanhoe sprawled out. No chance to get that one.
Now, if there is no scoring in either of the 2 overtime periods, as we get another look at it here, that's Paul Price who actually centered it in front.
Great header, and there's Futcher putting his foot in, Mike making a serious attempt, but Futcher catches it early and puts it right under the crossbar, as you can see it, and inches into the goal. A super goal.
Now again, if there are no goals scored in the 2 overtimes, we will go to a shootout procedure, which we'll discuss when we get to it. It's kind of a crazy way to end the ball game, but very exciting nonetheless. Teams are on the field, Walt, so let's go down. We got sudden death overtime, 1 goal, and it's all over. What a way to begin the 1977 Divisional Championship playoffs.
Well, let's see what happens.
The Seattle Sounders, again, are in white. Remember, Futcher scored at 81 minutes and 32 seconds of running time. That was, 8.5 minutes left in the game. Then Tommy Ord equalized just less than 5 minutes later. West and Price had assists on Futcher's goal for Minnesota, and Davey Butler had the assist on Tommy Ord's equalizer. So here we go. No chance to equalize now. 1 goal, and it's over. Here comes Seattle right away on the attack. Buttle into the penalty box, and he feigns for the penalty. Look out! They gave it away. Butler shoots. He scores! It's all over! Unbelievable! The Minnesota Kicks gave it away in their own penalty box. And it's all over. Davey Butler scores the winner.
This is a miscue, a mispass, misunderstanding between the goalkeeper, Jeff Barnett, and it's all over. A gift to Seattle, and they're going home with a victory.
We'll see you next Sunday for the conference championship game. 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central. An unbelievable ending to this one. They gave it away.
I've never seen this in a playoff nor any other kind of a game. This is unbelievable, incredible, and I'm sure the guy that got the goal, Buttle, is still laughing and looking, and he cannot believe his own eyes nor his feet.
Well, Davey Butler's the man who got it, the all-time leading scorer in Seattle history. That's the final. Seattle 2, Minnesota 1. John Miller, Walt Chisowitz. See you next week. Promotional consideration provided by Turtle Wax, the world's largest selling car wax. New improved hard shell formula cleans, polishes, protects in one easy operation. Turtle Wax with the hard shell finish.
future competitions. How long will we have to go on here until a decisive goal happen? When sudden death has been used before, notably in the old North American Soccer League, it happened after the 90 minutes, not after extra time. Last